What's up everybody, my name's Big Cam and welcome back to another Theory Time video, because yesterday was a huge Marvel announcement and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And let's jump right on into it, because Marvel Avengers Doomsday announcement yesterday was just a bunch of chairs, right? And we spent, I think, like 5 hours, me and 8 million people, watching chairs, and every 10 minutes they'd reveal a new chair, right? So luckily for you, you don't have to sit there for 5 hours to figure out the order of the names that they went through. For me, I have the list here of 27 confirmed A-list castings for Avengers Doomsday, and potentially more castings to come in the future. But we now have this new poster of Avengers Doomsday now in production, and the logo of Avengers Doomsday is slightly different. The old logo had less green in it, and if you look at the new logo, it now has, instead of an all-white Marvel Studios logo, it has the traditional red and white Marvel Studios logo. And then the Avengers Doomsday itself is outlined in a brighter green, and the word Doomsday itself is less bold and chunky and way more green. So really leaning into that green of Doomsday, or potentially the green of somebody else, but the logo slightly different. And this is the image that was released after the fact of 27 chairs and Mr. RDJ standing there as they're about to start production in, I believe, London or Atlanta, one of the two. But production's about to start on Avengers Doomsday, and that releases about a year from now. So it's going to be crazy if they can keep that many stars not spoiling anything. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a feat behind the scenes just if we know nothing about this movie. And I think it's really smart. Some people were like, who cares about the cast, right? Like, I think it's very smart of them, because instead of these actors working in other projects, going around to other things and going, hey, are you going to be in Avengers Doomsday? And them having to go, Marvel snipers are going to kill me. No, I don't know what you're talking about. And they have to, like, panic and get scared and not reveal anything. Now, even though they can't say what the movie's about, but, like, that's normal. Now, at least they can say, yeah, I'm in it. It was a lot of fun. We shot in London. I'm here. I was there with Patrick Stewart. It was a lot of fun, right? Like, they can talk about working with each other. They can talk about where it's filming, they can talk about being in it, but they can't talk about what it's about, which is, you know, smarter. Now they can have a press tour for this movie with 27 people instead of just like RDJ out there like, haha, I'm promoting this movie, but we can't talk about it. Like, you know, that kind of bugs me at times. I like to when they talk about movies. I don't like when they spoil it beforehand, but like, I like when they show up and they talk about what's going on, get you a little bit more excited for it. And I believe this successfully got people excited for the casting news yesterday, because people were losing their minds about it. And, you know, Twitter was blowing up and it was trending all day talking about the announcements, and every 10 minutes they keep posting this person coming back. So here is the list of 27 actors who are going to be confirmed in Avengers Doomsday. And first up was Chris Hemsworth's Thor. So I was like, okay, cool. I thought he was maybe going to get a Thor 5, but apparently he's going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Now, is his daughter, Love character from Thor Love and Thunder, is she going to be in this movie too? I mean, he was with her. If he's there and she's not, is he just a bad dad? Probably. Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, is going to be in this movie. Anthony Mackie, of course, Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, along with his best buddy, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, Sebastian Stan, is confirmed. Letitia Wright, Shiri, the Black Panther, the new Black Panther, T'Challa's sister, Shiri. Scott Lang's Antman is going to be there, and Paul Rudd, and his was funny because he got like a small chair, which I thought was just so funny for no reason. Like, why did he need a small chair? Did they just were like, hey, well, you're Ant-Man, we'll give you a small chair? And he was probably like, yep, I love it. I'm here for it. This next one's interesting. I was like, really? In Avengers Doomsday? As what? For what? Wyatt Russell's Johnny Mayonnaise, John Walker, the U.S. agent from Falcon and Winter Soldier and in the upcoming Thunderbolts film is going to be in Avengers Doomsday. So Thunderbolts ties into Avengers Doomsday pretty directly, and I mean, like, as we go through this list, pretty much all the Thunderbolts people that we want to survive are in this cast list. I mean, Bucky, John Walker, and as we go through, I'll name some more, but like, I was like, what? He lives? Okay, sure. Tenoch Huerta Mejia, who played Namor, he is going to be in this movie, and in the comics, Namor and Sue Storm have like this love affair type of thing going on, so maybe that's where we're going with Vanessa Kirby and Tenoch in this movie. That would kind of be interesting. We also have that Fantastic Four movie coming out in July. Speaking of which, Ebon Moss-Bachrach, we're going to see as Ben Grimm the Thing in that movie, so can't wait to see him as that. Simu Liu as Shang-Chi is confirmed for this movie, which is great. We haven't seen Shang-Chi since, what, 2022? Just great to see him back, or confirmed to know that he's back. Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova survives Thunderbolts, good to know. Kelsey Grammer, Hank McCoy Beast from X-Men The Last Stand, X-Men Days of Future Past, where he played a prosthetics version of Beast, kind of like Michael Chiklis's Thing in the old Fantastic Four movies. But more recently, in the post-credit scene of The Marvels, Kelsey Grammer played a animated CGI Beast that looked a lot more like the X-Men 97 Beast, but brought to live action, where he's wearing pants and he's got the little teeth protruding out his face and he's got the hair that kind of, you know, curls up. I really liked how he looked at the end of The Marvels, but we don't know if anyone else from that movie connects, so we're speculating. And that at the end of this video, I'll speculate my theory on what could be happening with all these people. But Lewis Pullman, who plays Bob, aka Sentry in Thunderbolts, who I thought was going to be like the villain of Thunderbolts, is going to be in Avengers Doomsday. Interesting. Danny Ramirez, who played Joaquin Torres, the new Falcon in Captain America Brave New World. And, of course, if you got Sam Wilson's cap, you got to have his Falcon alongside with him. Joseph Quinn, who is playing Johnny Storm, the Human Torch in the new Fantastic Four movie, also confirmed for this movie. So I believe that's all four of the... Or no, that's three of the four Fantastic Four so far. We also have David Harbour, Alexei Shestakov, the Red Guardian, who I thought for sure is dying in Thunderbolts, but apparently not. He's going to be here. Winston Duke, M'Baku, Bafa, ooh ha, Bafa, ooh ha. Right, like, love me some M'Baku, so glad to see him back. Hannah John Kamen, who plays Ava Starr, Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, and also going to be in Thunderbolts. She's going to be in this movie. Tom Hiddleston's Loki? Now this is when this list started to get wild for me. I was like, okay, God of Stories Loki is back. I'm here for it. Just because, also, Chris Hemsworth was the first name on this list. So Chris Hemsworth and Loki are going to be in the same movie. If they don't cross paths, I'm gonna cry, right? But if they do cross paths, I'm also gonna cry. You know what I mean? Like, you can't wait for them to ruin me with that scene. But another scene that's probably gonna ruin me is when Patrick Stewart's Charles Xavier, Professor X, is back. And the last time we seen him was in Multiverse of Madness, where Wanda snapped his neck. Okay. Also, Wanda Maximoff, not on this list, where people were expecting to see her name. Could be a surprise, but there's also potential that this list could expand at another time. But Ian McKellen, who played Eric Lensher Magneto in the X-Men movies, who we haven't seen since probably, what, X-Men Days of Future Past, he is also confirmed for this movie. So we're going to get to see Charles Xavier and Magneto, friggin' Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen together again on screen in a movie. And then I was like, oh my god, they're bringing back my OG X-Men. And I expected to see, like, Hugh Jackman up next. Hugh Jackman, also not on this list. Wild. But the next names on the list are Alan Cumming, who played Nightcrawler in X2 and had that tremendous opening scene in X2 at the White House where he's, like, flying around and the poofing and the bamfing, if you would. And for a movie like that's like 2002, it still holds up really well. And honestly, since this announcement, I think I'm going to go back and like I did reviews for each of those X-Men movie. I think I'm going to do breakdowns for each of those movies and go through and take notes and do copacetic details, because I really love those movies, especially X2, and Nightcrawler is probably my favorite mutant out of all of them. Maybe Wolverine, but Nightcrawler I've always loved. Teleportation, I've always said, would be my superpower if I could get it, because just like, bam, kitchen, bam, all four back, what's up? You know, like, love that. Also back from the X-Men movies is Mystique, who was played by Rebecca Romijn, which I absolutely loved. And we actually never got to see, really, Rebecca Romijn. We only ever saw the blue Mystique version because she looked so good as Mystique that they just kind of like, yeah, I guess you're just going to bleed blue the whole time and naked. And she was so hot that everyone was like, yeah, it doesn't matter, you're good. Where, like, Jennifer Lawrence, I like Jennifer Lawrence as an actress. I did not like her as Mystique. But I also didn't like how they were trying to take Mystique and make her like a full X-Men like the whole time, and she was involved with James McAvoy's Charles Xavier. Like, this Mystique was just a bad girl that worked with the bad mutants with Magneto, and like, you know, that felt much more real, like her and Eric, you know, kind of flirting together in the corner, right? Like, that I always bought a lot more and loved a lot more. But we're also going to get James Marsden's Scott Summers. Cyclops is going to be back as well. Now, no Famke Janssen, no, you know, Flame guy from that was also in Pyro, who was also in Deadpool and Wolverine. None of those, but like, maybe later date we'll get a Famke Janssen, a Storm Halle Berry. I wouldn't be mad at either of those. I also feel like that, you know, where's Hugh Jackman and all that? Like, I feel like those people are needed as well. But we're going to be getting Channing Tatum's Gambit instead with this X-Men group. So we got Beast, Nightcrawler, Mystique, Cyclops, Gambit, Magneto, and Professor X. That's a pretty solid X-Men lineup. And then the last two was Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, so all of the Fantastic Four. And then the final name of the 27 was Robert Downey Jr. himself, and he walked out and sat down in the chair and then turned around and went, shh. And then, you know, like, took a picture next to it, and like, you know, this alone, people were like, yeah, Robert Downey Jr., you fucking, we knew it was coming and we still love it. You know, just the fact that he's back in the MCU alone, and why people want to see how he became Dr. Frickin' Doom, like, that alone, that statement alone, how did Iron Man become Dr. Doom, right? Like, why is RDJ coming back to play Dr. Doom and not like Tony Stark again? And why would they get somebody as famous as Tony Stark to play Dr. Doom? That question alone is $1 billion movie. And 27 people, right? Like, and it kept bringing up the meme, like, is that everyone? You wanted more? Right? Like in Avengers Endgame. Of course we want more. 27 is not enough. I feel like there's a lot to go. But in Robert Downey Jr.'s Instagram post, he wrote, "That's what you call a deep bench of talent. Actually, it's more like a row in this case, but an extra long row." That must be it, right? And then Marvel Studios commented underneath his post and says there's always room for more. So, potential future casting updates like this, maybe they do 25, 27 more, and you get 50-something characters for this movie. That sounds more reasonable and more realistic than just 27. But just these people alone, like, we got pretty much the whole cast of the Thunderbolts. Like, pretty much everyone in this picture is going to be in this movie. You know, everyone that is in this picture, right, in this little elevator scene, makes it to Avengers Doomsday, apparently. But you're notably not on this list is Taskmaster. Probably not going to make it, but Bob is also going to make it. So, but then we got, you know, people coming back from the old X-Men movies. So maybe we will get like a James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender and also bring back that side of the X-Men. They might have gone that route, but I'm guessing they can't go that route because they can't get Nicholas Hoult Beast because he is Lex Luthor in the new Superman movie for DC. So I don't know how that works. Maybe he can't. But, you know, maybe we get Colossus. Maybe we get Kitty Pryde. Maybe we get some of these other people. Halle Berry, Storm, I feel like all of us want to see back, right? But I know just the fact that we're getting Charles Xavier and Magneto back and they're just going to be across from each other on screen again really makes Cam's childhood heart happy. You know what I mean? Like, but we're also getting all of the Fantastic Four in this movie, which I'm really excited to see that movie coming up in July. And then, you know, we also will probably get more Avengers, like Chris Evans maybe. Maybe Scarlett Johansson comes back. Maybe we get Mark Ruffalo wasn't named. Denai Guerrera. Any of the Guardians weren't named. Wong wasn't named. Don Cheadle wasn't named. Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner wasn't named. Brie Larson wasn't named for Captain Marvel, right? Doctor Strange wasn't named. A lot of people that weren't named. Chris Pratt, right? Like Samuel L. Jackson. A bunch of characters that very well could be in this movie but haven't been named yet. So for me, I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I need to know. So here's where my theory comes in. And my theory is that all along, my theory has been that this movie would be, you know, explaining Doctor Doom, and then we're going to be getting an Avengers versus X-Men in Avengers Secret Wars. Now I'm thinking that Avengers Doomsday is Avengers versus X-Men, and it's all Doctor Doom's plan to have them wipe out each other so that he can take over, and by the end of the movie, everybody, the X-Men, the Avengers, realizes that he's the real bad guy, and then in Secret Wars, they have to team up together, and we get Avengers and X-Men versus Doctor Doom. And then Robert Downey Jr. is the big bad, but I feel like in Avengers Doomsday, he's going to be same mask, new mask, same task. What would that mean? Sure, he's not wearing the Iron Man suit mask anymore. New mask with the Doomsday mask, but same task, which is the suit of armor around the world, which is what Tony always wanted to do. And maybe in a different universe, right? Because I think the Fantastic Four is set in a different universe entirely. And we saw different multiverses in Multiverse of Madness and Loki. So, like, we know that there's other universes out there. We also saw another universe that has Kelsey Grammer's X-Men in it, with the rip in reality that Monica Rambeau went through. Monica Rambeau, also not confirmed in this 27 people. So if they're bringing in Kelsey Grammer and those X-Men, where's Monica Rambeau and those type of people? Kamala Khan, Brie Larson, right? Like, where are those type of people? And then there's also going to be, like, street-level people, like Kamala's family, like Matt Murdock, like Karen Page. Those people could be in it. Maybe not, probably not, but, like, you're telling me also, like, Spider-Man's not going to be in Avengers Doomsday? I highly doubt that. But maybe they're trying to go Avengers Doomsday, Spider-Man 4, and then Spider-Man 4 sets up Avengers 5, right? Or Avengers, at this point, what, 6? Secret Wars? Oof, lots of movies. But either way, I think we're going to be getting an Avengers versus X-Men type of thing in this movie, and then eventually they're going to have to end up together, and then in, like, Secret Wars, you know, they collide, and by the end of that movie, the multiple universes, maybe like incursions, are colliding, and they end up making it into one universe and bring everybody together, so they can kind of reboot it, but also kind of continue the story of characters they want, reboot other characters, you know, maybe by the end of it, Doctor Doom and, you know, Tony Stark are alive, but they both kill each other, and then at the end of the movie, we see a baby Tony and a baby Victor Von Doom, two different characters, and then we grow up with them over the next however many years. I don't know, but that's all well past the next 2-3 years, what I'm thinking about there. But comment below, who is your favorite person and who are you most excited for to hear that they are in this movie? I mean, it's a big list, but the X-Men coming back, Nightcrawler, Ian McKellen, Charles Xavier, friggin' Patrick Stewart, Bucky gonna be in this, Namor I'm happy to see back, the Fantastic Four, Shang-Chi, Sam Wilson, I mean, Thor, there's so many, I mean, RDJ, Gambit, I mean, I can't believe Channing Tatum's Gambit's coming back. Like, does that also mean that, like, Hugh Jackman and Wolverine and Deadpool are coming back? I don't know, man. But this got me very, very excited the other day for Avengers Doomsday. And I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comment section below, or send them to me on my other social medias. The links for those down in the description below. Big Cam, 2 G's in the big, pretty much anywhere, and you can look for this ugly face and you'll find me. But today is a very exciting Avengers Doomsday announcement, and I would love to hear what you think and who you are most excited for down in the comment section below. Best way to support the channel is commenting, liking, subscribing if you haven't already. Make sure you hit that bell so you get the notifications when new videos comes out. And once again, my name is Big Cam. Thank you guys so much for stopping on by. And if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you and love you. And I will see you beautiful people in the next one. Peace!